Hey, it says we're live, and the intro stream video thing, it's not working today. Hey, welcome. Happy Monday and happy post Hutch Fest. Hutch Fest is in Hutchinson, Kansas. It's our new home. We've been here just over a year now, and I can remember when we first moved to Hutchinson, there was the state fair, and then there was Hutch Fest, and it just seemed like there was one thing after another, that really reinforced the idea that we had moved to a place that was full of community. And it's one of the reasons that I think we got off to such a strong start here in the move. If we would have moved here in like February or March, we would have been here for months really before we got plugged into things. But because we came in September last year, like I said, we got exposed to a bunch of stuff like right out of the gates. And when you go to those types of things and you meet people and decision makers and things like that, then you go, oh, well, this is a really cool place to live. So I think the timing had a lot to do with how well our move to Kansas actually went. So I opened up with a different intro. You guys saw the podcast intro that we have. And I use that as kind of an inspiration today to show people like, hey, we have a podcast. We have cool discussions. We talk a lot about leadership, tech, the tech industry, WordPress specifically, what it's like to run an agency. And then some of our conversations are actually about wellness, fitness, and leadership kind of combined, because a lot of the people that I talk to about business have a similar thought like, well, we have to be healthy, we have to be strong, we have to be capable physically in order to do the job that's required mentally. And so I see a lot of that coming and going. Now, this is going to sound crazy, but I just wanted to share with you some of the things from just this weekend. Okay. I know I do a lot of bragging here about, let's see if I see that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So this right here is Sandhills Brewery. Friday night, live music was going on. All right. If we were to advance the slides a little bit, that's the inside of the tap room. A guy named Pippin Williamson owns the Sandhills Brewery. And besides the beer being amazing, the culture here is just phenomenal. The community is phenomenal. When they have live music, they encourage you to come down with your lawn chairs and sit out and enjoy the music. And it's just a really, really great experience. And as you can see, it's an all ages show. There's young people, there's old people, there's dogs. The next day I get up. Now, I didn't have a lot of beer, thank goodness, because I had to get up at the crack of dawn and I had to run downtown. You'll notice I'm wearing a yellow vest. That's because I volunteered for this event. It was a 5K and a 10K race. And so you see the competitors here are lining up at the registration table. I'm already there. I'm signed up to lead the 5K race. The gentleman behind me that you can't see behind my big fat head, his name is David Inskeep. He is a wonderful, wonderful human being. He's one of the first people we met when we moved to town. And he is an avid bicyclist, which of course resonated with me, and we've become fast friends. And so he led the 10K, I led the 5K, and then we doubled back and did a little traffic duty to make sure that the people running back from the 5 and 10Ks got across an intersection safely that didn't have traffic stopped. So, here's some of the shots about how it was set up. This is the takeoff for the 10K. You see up here this little bright light, that's David up in the distance. And the idea was get about a half block ahead. When they let everybody go, they follow you and you guide them through the route. That's kind of that idea. If we go down further, up further, you're going to see a new bike shop. Now, this is shameless plugging for Harley's Bicycles. I love Harley's Bicycles. This is a brand new building for them, and it opened this week. So, like when I say there's a lot going on in September and October in Hutchinson, Kansas, I totally mean there's a lot going on. So Harley's had been in the same building, I think, for like 103 years, just a few blocks up the road. They went ahead, got a new building, came down, they remodeled everything. It is gorgeous. Um, Andrea is the one that runs the shop. Her husband Tony runs Hutch Rec, and their son Devin works in the service department. Their work here was phenomenal on setting up the new bike shop. I was really impressed with what they've done with the space, and there's a lot of space. There's offices back here. There's all kinds of stuff, and they have a rear exit and entrance for service, so that people don't have to exit and enter through busy Main Street. So that's pretty cool. That's the service area right there that's kind of exposed and people can see it. Here's the shirt I got from the 5K and the 10K. And if we go to the next event that I participated in this weekend, this was probably the most fun of my weekend. They have a thing called Brewfest. Brewfest is part of Hutch Fest. And you pay $50 and you get in. You can buy tickets early for like $30 or $35, I believe. But I paid the $50 on the day of because I wasn't sure if Heidi was going to work or had the day off or whatever. And they give you this little glass right here, and you go around this whole area, and you can sample all of these like stands. There's a stand. There's a stand. So in the middle is homebrew people, and on the edges are regular. You probably don't need to see that one. That's my son. He had his homecoming dance this weekend. So he probably doesn't want me sharing pictures of his homecoming. Too late. It's live. It's already out there. But here's the deal. Homecoming, 10K, 5K, brand new bike shop. The bike shop had a group ride that went out Saturday morning, right? Boom. There's a hot rod show. The hot rod show is something that is really, really unique, I think, when I take a look at different towns, different cities. Now, I remember when I lived in Albuquerque, they had the Sagebrush, the church. I was trying to remember the name of the church. Sagebrush had on Father's Day, they would do a big car show. Very similar. Hutchinson here does a car show that is all of Main Street. So it's like 5 or 6 blocks of nothing but classic, beautiful cars. And as you go up and down, like here's an AMC Eagle, right? Like you're like, would I see an AMC Eagle at a car show? You saw an AMC Eagle at this car show. And it was super clean too. Lots of Chevys, Corvettes. Chevy is a Corvette. Corvette is a Chevy. Lots of Mustangs, lots of Mopar products, Studebakers. I mean, it was just really, really cool to be able to see these functional pieces of art. I really enjoyed. So this was Friday that Hayden and I kind of went and checked this out. And then Hayden ran back down with his camera and did the things that he does. You know, here's a Camaro, here's a Slingshot. What this looks like, is this I can't really see the picture too well on the screen right now. I don't know if that's a Dodge Charger or if it's a Skyline. There's a GTO up here. The GTO is super nice. It's such a cool event because it brings out so many different people. And then, you know, to jump into more of, hey, you know, we still have a house to run. We still have we still have things to do. We went ahead and painted our barn, shed, whatever you want to call it. We went ahead and painted that this weekend and got it protected for the winter. And so I got a picture of Hayden doing the hard work right here. This kid, once you get him going, he just keeps on going. So he's like the ever ready bunny. Once you get him going, he just keeps going. And so it originally had all these white stirrups on it. And I said, you know what? The main function of this coat of paint is to seal this thing for the winter. So when we were done, it was just completely red. And then a lot of these accent boards were partially rotted. We just moved into this house. And so we're partially rotted. And so in reality, come spring, I'm probably going to replace a bunch of these. And then these baseboards right here, it's like a 2x12 kind of thing. This one's fine. The one on the other side was rotted. So we're going to go ahead and replace some lumber on this unit and hopefully get another decade out of it. And so Super, super great times. So just to let you know what's going on, right? So when I say happy Monday, happy post Hutch Fest, it's like you take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and you go, oh my goodness, this place is amazing. Um, we have absolutely loved living here. The finances have made it possible for us to buy a house. My son is back in school instead of being homeschooled. He loves it. He's excelling very well at school right now. Heidi's got a job. She loves it. My work with Mañana No Mas is going fantastic. We got four new SCORM tasks, four new SCORM jobs, I'll say, in the last 6 weeks. So by going out on a limb and really promoting SCORM as a niche, something to double down on, I think that was the right thing to do for Mañana No Mas. And interesting thing, we had someone reach out through a Facebook group that we're a part of and ask us to help them with some translation in a WordPress website. And you know what's really cool about putting yourself in a better, who is calling me? Putting yourself in a better economy, in a better place, and that is you can afford to say no. And so that particular task, that particular job was not a good fit, was not the proper fit for Mañana No Mas. So we were able to say, hey, that's just not a really good fit for us right now. While we do languages as part of bigger projects, to take a single task as embedding translation and customizing translation for somebody is something that would be better done by another vendor. And so we were able to direct them in a good path, a good directory of service suppliers, and to get them still taken care of, but not have the obligation of having to actually do the job. And so we're able to focus on the things that we feel really strong about. And that is helping some of these enterprise companies get off of their ugly, overpriced, purpose-built SCORM websites and get them into something modern and flexible, customizable, and still function with SCORM and save them a ton of money. So we are all about that right now, and it is going well. So, folks, I wanted to say hi. I wanted to start with something positive for the week, and I wanted to, just as a cautionary moment, there's a lot going on in WordPress. There's a lot going on in politics. There's a lot going on in, do we call it the Southeast, right? With the hurricane and all of that. I just want to encourage you, take a moment, take a breath in between inputs, try to use a gift of discernment, figure out what's true, what is exaggeration, what is hyperbole, and give yourself a break. Take that mental break. For me, I work online a lot. There's a lot coming at me all the time. And sometimes I just turn the computer off and I go for a 20-mile bike ride. That 20 miles of listening to a podcast or listening to music and being alone in my thoughts, for an hour and a half or so, to go out and knock out those miles, restores me physically, right? So I love to get out, breathe hard, break a sweat, get a workout in, all that plus, plus, plus. But the other side is the mental health, is just unplugging from some of these inputs that we have coming our way. And I'm not saying be ignorant. I'm not saying to be willfully ignorant, but try not to let yourself get obsessed or pulled down some rabbit hole that's not healthy for you. I'm seeing it a lot lately with friends and acquaintances. And so I just want to encourage you. If you hear a lot of one thing, maybe listen to a different opinion, maybe kind of spread out what you get the information from, filter it accordingly, use some critical thinking and some logic. Hey, does that make sense? Is that the way something would really work? And then honestly, take a break, take a breath. If you're in a position to take a breath. And then when you're up to it, maybe get back to a little more fact finding or being productive. For me, a great way to stay out of the mess is to stay productive. I hope it helps. I don't know why I say these things. Like, you probably already know this. You don't need to hear it from me. But sometimes it's just that extra, third-party edification, right? Like, hey, yeah, Take it easy on yourself. Give yourself a break. You don't need to know everything about everything. So relax, give yourself a break, and stay cool, stay healthy. All right. Have yourself a wonderful day. Enjoy this Monday. I really feel like this week's going to be a great week. I hope you join me with that. I hope that whatever you're doing right now, you're going, Kurt's right. Holy crap, this could be a great week. Because I think it is. It's going to be an awesome week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.